All right, no brains, no headache. Welcomes Aiden McClusky. Aiden, thanks for joining the show. Aiden is a comedian out of where are you from?
I started in Minneapolis. I'm based, or that's where I started. Right now I live in my hometown, actually, Galesville, Wisconsin. Uh, I don't
That
know
seems
if
like a
any.
bumpin' place.
Yeah, about 1,600 people, dude. Labor Day was popping.
Half the town showed up for the parade, which is nice.
They canceled the fireworks again. People were fucking pissed. They canceled them on the 4th, and then because they claimed rain was going to happen, rain never came. So the Facebook Lions Club at Galesville was going crazy, and they're like, "We'll reschedule for Labor Day." And now there's a burn ban, and people are like, "You guys are just playing us right now."
We'll reschedule for next Labor Day. Figure it out.
Fucking oh man, it's ridiculous. The Facebook comments were crazy. My cousin was really laying into him on Facebook, dude.
So, what do people do in Galesville, Wisconsin for fun?
Drink.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Similar to Bismarck, where we're located. So that's nice. We have that in common.
Dude, I'm actually gonna be in Bismarck like fucking next Friday or this Friday.
Are you serious?
Dead serious, dude. I didn't even think about it. I took this do you guys know Nate Abshire? He's a comic out of Minneapolis.
I do not. Where's your show at?
Oh fuck, dude! I wish I knew. I'm so bad at promoting myself.
Well, let's hang out and give us some free admission, and we'll come, or I'll pay. Whatever works.
I don't get paid anymore if I give you guys comp, so just come through.
Word up! I'll be there, man.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, we'll have to figure out where exactly that is. I wish I knew so we could actually tell our listeners. So maybe we could get some more, a little more promo going for you because we're got a big listener base here in the old Bismarck Mandan. You seem to be familiar with the area.
Oh yeah, I did a show. How's the wind, by the way? Is that okay?
I can definitely hear it.
Definitely hear it.
Yeah.
Let me go in the garage. I'll sit. No, I fucking did a show at
that Stage Stop in Mandan.
Stage Stop. That's right. Yeah, and that was a fucking lot of fun. It made me wish I still drank, dude.
You currently don't.
I don't drink anymore. No, I knocked off the drinking. Did it about a year and a half ago. I drink one time a year. I do a annual hometown show in Galesville, and I'll tie one on for that. But otherwise, the rest of the year, I'm totally sober.
Wow, good for you. I'm actually 8 days sober myself. So
oh, congratulations, man.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate that. Matt is the only one here boozing for us.
Yeah, I'm about 8 hours sober.
You got off tomorrow or what?
No. I work best when I'm hungover.
What do you do?
I work in an office job, just pushing papers. So
yeah, dude,
slam my head against a keyboard for 8 hours and
oofty. I did an office job for a little. I was a legal assistant for like 2.5 years when I was like 9. Yeah,
I thought you were gonna say 2.5 weeks, and I was like, well, tried hard.
No, like 2.5 years, and then COVID came around. They got rid of me. I was for sure the weakest link. I got no qualms with them. Yeah.
The virus isn't even here yet, but we're gonna have to let you go.
We're getting rid of this guy. I did that, and I delivered meals. I was a Meals on Wheels delivery driver at the same time.
You get paid for that? Because I used to volunteer to do that.
Yeah, you get paid. So if you do it through the county, you'll get paid to do it. So it was like me and a bunch of other people who were retired, and I just didn't want a real job.
You're the only one under 75 years old?
Mm-hmm. And they kept finding, they had a bunch of fallen soldiers, dude. They kept finding some of their own on the floor. Yeah, dude.
We lost a lot of good men out there.
Dude, I put in hours with Meals on Wheels and didn't get paid anything.
You're fucking up, dude. You could have gotten paid something.
Dude, I think my mom, I did it like for my mom. She must have just been taking the money now that I think about it.
So that actually, one of the dudes I worked with, his name was Bud. He cracked a big case in La Crosse County. So there was this fucking woman who her son would come out every day and collect the meal, and he would go back inside. And Bud was like, I haven't seen this woman in a while. And so he fucking reported it, and then they did a welfare check, found out that the dude had been just keeping his mom in the freezer and collecting her Social Security and the Meals on Wheels and eating them. And she was just in a chest freezer.
Wow.
That one fucked him up. He had to take some leave after that one.
He had to take leave from Meals on Wheels. You know,
Mhm.
it's rough out there.
You find one of your own in a chest freezer, dude.
That's the most Wisconsin thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
mind is blown right now.
Let's switch back to comedy. So how did you get started in comedy being from a small town?
So at the time I was taking classes at Western Tech. I was in just business and administration, just the classic tech degree. And I just didn't fucking like it. I was 18. I was working at Dollar General. I had a girlfriend that I'd been with for 2 years at that point. And God bless, I wasn't showering. I was just a mess at the time. I wasn't showering. I wasn't going to school. I was failing all my classes. Second semester rolls around. I start failing those fuckers too. And I knew I wanted to do stand up. And I would show up to the open mic that they had. It was a variety open mic in La Crosse. And I actually ended up getting banned from that, but not at that time. I would show up there and I wouldn't perform. And then it was like a sponsored ad for me on Facebook that there's a brewery in Winona. It's called Boobs Brewery, B-U-B. It's not like titties, but I thought it was.
I would still go there for that reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boobs.
And it was like a sponsored ad for me on Facebook. And I was like, okay, I'm actually going to do it this time. And it was like a 30-minute drive away from where I lived at the time with my parents. And I told my girlfriend that I was just going to go out and smoke weed with my buddy Jacob. And she was like, okay. And then I ended up going and doing the mic. And I did well. People tell me I did well, but man, it was like a out of body fucking experience because the light they had was like one of those painter lights. So when you got up there, you couldn't see a fucking thing.
That's
And the room, the room was fucking packed. I couldn't see a fucking thing. I did like 5.5 minutes. And then after they were like, hey, that was good. You should go to Goonies in Rochester. And I was like, okay. And I got some of their numbers and I didn't know if I was going to keep doing it because their mic was like very sporadic. They would do it whenever Tim Flanagan and Lindsay Hensel run that mic, and they would do it whenever they both were available. So it was kind of a sporadic thing. And I remember I got done with the mic. My buddy Jacob was like, dude, that was fucking sick. We didn't even smoke weed. I went to my girlfriend's place and I like knocked on the door and she came out and she was like, what's up? And I was like, I tried stand up. And then she like fucking smacked me right in the face. And she's like, you lied? She was like, you went and did an open mic and you weren't actually smoking weed with your friend?
What the hell's the matter with you?
Yeah. So, and then from there, I didn't think any of them would end up reaching out again. But then like the following week, Tim and Lindsay both reached out and we were like, we're going over to Rochester if you'd like to ride with us. And then I rode with them from there. And I went to that mic every Thursday, but it was the only one I would go to because it was the only one I knew of. And then they started telling me about Minneapolis and that comedy scene. But Minneapolis is like 2.5+ hours away from where I grew up. So I didn't really think it was all that feasible. And I just would go to that Goonies open mic. I started in like March of 2018. And then I caught wind that Acme, we're doing their funniest person contest. I don't know if you guys have heard of that.
Yeah.
So I signed up for it. I was pretty drunk when I signed up for it because my girlfriend had just graduated high school. So we got pretty drunk with her parents.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
And I had some confidence from the wine that I was drinking. I threw up in front of her dad and I was like, fuck it, I'm going to sign up for this contest. So I signed up, and the whole time leading up to even like the preliminaries, people were like, it's just good to get on stage at Acme. They're like, you've been doing it for 2-3 months at this point. Don't get like a big head about it. And I only had 3 minutes of written material. And I won the preliminary. And then they were like, okay, well, again, cool that you won, but you're probably not going to win the contest. Semifinals come up and I lose that night to a dude who's still doing comedy. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm done with the contest. And then about a week went by and I got an email that I was in the finals. And everybody was like, I can't even believe you made it to the final. Because I was doing the same fucking material every time I would go.
And you lose, though?
Yeah, I don't know. So it's like a cumulative point system, I guess. I'm not really sure how it works
You
to
just
this
lost,
day.
and then I lost, and then I won.
Mm-hmm.
The
Pretty
American
much.
way.
Yeah, I was like, okay. And I went and I did the finals, and I ended up actually winning about 4 months into stand-up. And I only had 3 minutes of like usable material, and I
So
wasn't.
you just go up there, shit out the same 3 minutes.
Yep.
Sit down. Couple weeks go by. Yep, 3 minutes.
Yep. Same 3 minutes of material. I was like, there's no fucking way. Like, these people are coming out with different material every time. There's no way that this. I was like skinnier than I am now, and I would wear Hawaiian shirts on stage. And I had this like 3 minutes about how we treat dogs better than we treat homeless people. And it was like shocking to people to hear a 19-year-old say it in a Hawaiian, because I looked fucking 14. I don't look much older now, but so I ended up winning that, got $1,000, and then pretty much quit comedy for 3 years.
$1,000,
And then I retired. And
Yeah.
I realized $1,000 only takes me like a week and a half. And now I'm back doing Meals on Wheels, the grind.
Back to failing college and being in a relationship I'm not happy about, but
back to not showering. Had a good phase of showering, went back to the non-showers.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man. Good for you. Who were the people telling you that you weren't going to win?
Oh, everybody at
fuck those people.
I mean, I would have told a 19-year-old kid that had the same 3 minutes and he was doing it at the open mic weekly for months leading up to it. I would have been like, man, you don't really stand a chance. Good luck though, brother.
When I'm out of material, I just go up on stage with the Bible and I just kind of read for a few minutes.
That's fucking stupid.
Yeah. What's your favorite passage? What are we talking about?
Gets a pretty good laugh about a quarter of the time. Or I just hand the mic off to some random guy. That's what I did last week. Some guy was walking by the stage and seemed like he had something to say, and I was like, "Here, the mic is all yours." Like, I just took credit for his joke.
Was it good?
I don't even remember. I was sitting there laughing the whole time.
I was in the back playing blackjack.
That's right. The fucking everywhere in North Dakota has a blackjack table, dude.
Not great for my gambling habit.
It's like the one bragging right we have over like other states where it's like, oh, can you go to any bar and play blackjack? It's like, no, we have professional sports teams here because we have a population.
Damn it.
Have you guys ever been to the Box in Fargo? The bar that's...
I have not, but I know what you're talking about. Okay,
yeah. That's the first and one of the only times I've ever really played. If I stay at the Box, I'll play blackjack. But dude, is there a strategy? Is there a way to win?
Yeah, it's like fucking Google it. It's like 10 steps, and you just like, that's how you win. It's like the most favorable game.
Really?
Is there strategy?
I don't
wonder
know
why you're terrible at it.
I mean, it's like roulette. No, there's not really a strategy. Just fucking throw some chips out there.
That's what I kind of thought.
Sure.
Really?
I mean, there's like a kind of it can be like that, but no, there's like actually a strategy. Like if you do something and someone that plays blackjack sitting at the table, they'll just be like, I fucking hate you.
Really?
Yeah. People, myself included, will be huge assholes to people. Actually, not really. I just like bite my finger. I'm just like, fucking god damn it.
What is a faux pas in blackjack then? So I know.
Like hitting on a 16 when the dealer's showing a 14.
Oh, see, yeah, good thing you told me.
You're gonna have to write all of this down. There's a lot of
I'll tell you when you're in town.
There's a lot of scenarios. Yeah, you should when you come to town, you link up with Matt. We'll send you over to the blackjack table, and
Okay.
It'll be a whole Rain Man situation.
I'm actually talking like I'm really good at it, but I'm down several $1,000s in my life. Actually, maybe up into tens of thousands of dollars in blackjack.
Don't you
you're
have
up.
fun?
Yeah, I have a lot of fun. I also just drink, so I'm like, oh, it's another $40, and it's like that was $275 ago.
What's the biggest like win? What takes you to that table? What memory?
21st birthday, absolutely pissed drunk. I put in $12 and cashed out like close to 300.
Oh, dude, yeah, I would be gambling to this day.
But then there's times where I'm just like, well, how's blackjack? And I was gone for like 15 minutes. I'm like, lost $200.
What are the buy-ins? What are you playing with?
You can play with whatever you want. Like,
You can bet $1, or there's certain tables at certain places that have a $1 minimum and a $5 minimum, right?
yeah, and then it's like up to $25 a hand. Which, if you think about it, I would never put $25 cash down and then be like, all right, one card. But if they give you chips, it's like not real money. So I just do whatever I want.
That's how I treat my credit card, dude. Yeah, it's smart.
Exactly, which reminds me, mine is not paid yet, and I need to get after that.
When is yours due? Mine's due the 25th every month, and I forget.
Mine's due the 3rd, and it is the 4th. So,
ooh, all right, a little bit of a late fee. That's all right.
Whatever. I want to go back to, you said you got banned from an open mic.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
does that happen?
So I ended up meeting some comics from La Crosse by going to Goonies in Rochester, and I went to the Root Note Variety open mic with a comic. I don't know if he still does it anymore. I don't even know where he lives anymore, Brian Boland. And he was like, no, go up. And he's like, people are used to comedy happening here. We do it sometimes. So I was like, okay. I went up, did that same fucking 3 minutes that I had comparing homeless people to dogs. And I got off, and the audience seemed happy with me. And I went outside, and Brian was smoking a cigarette. And a guy came out, and he's like, hey, man, I thought that was funny. I think it's fucked up that you're not allowed here anymore. And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, the barista got on stage and said that she apologized like profusely for my material and said that would never be allowed at the Root Note again. I was like, oh, okay. Well, the one and only time that I did that open mic, I got banned. So,
what kind of aristocratic place is this shithole?
Dude, it's one of those. It's somehow hipster in like Southwest Wisconsin. Like it is all UWL people that go there. They're wearing the fucking chakas and driving Subarus and those type of people.
I thought La Crosse was the place where you find dead bodies in freezers.
It's the same place you find dead bodies in freezers, so it's a little fucked up that they wouldn't let me.
Yeah, talk about a demographic range that you have.
Lots of subcultures going, serial killers and hipsters, which is really nice.
Yeah, they don't tend to like me though.
It's good to hear Wisconsin's diverse and has a Subaru dealership, which is really nice to hear.
I think it's just one of them like we'll sell you whatever car we've been given type places.
I'll take it.
This one was abandoned on the side of the road. We put a battery in it. It doesn't work.
Yeah. Fudge title, was in a flood in Florida, but we got it shipped up here. You can drive it, never come back to us. The lemon laws don't apply here.
Now, when you say variety open mic, what does that mean exactly?
So like poetry, music,
okay,
stand up. Which stand up, I've done several variety mics since then, and it never fits in well with the vibe of a variety mic.
Yeah, around here we just call it open mic, and there's two available that I know of. I host one of them. Another friend hosts a different one. And the one I host, I'm like, this is strictly comedy open mic. Although last time I invited one musician to like start with a couple songs, and then it was strictly comedy after that. For our other open mic, we just kind of weave and bob in and out of music and comedy, and it really throws me off.
Yeah, it's tough, dude, because they can go from being able to not listen and just talk to each other while music is playing, and then you're like, all right, now I'm going to tell you all of the thoughts that I've had from this week right now.
Yeah, that is a very good way to put open mic night.
Do you have an issue with doing it in front of children by accident? Apparently, a few places I've done it allow children, and I don't like that. I don't change my material by any means, but I don't like that.
Yeah, I've done a couple like recently that have had kids, and I try and tell their parents, like, look, you're going to have to explain some of the stuff I'm about to say. So if you don't want to have to do that, I would suggest moving.
Like, but I have a joke where it's talking about eating pineapple and how it makes a man's semen taste better, and then there's even an anal portion of that. And I'm just like, you know what? If you want to bring your kid to this shit, that's fine with me. Whatever. Yeah,
I mean, I did one outside, and there were like kids playing with Tonka trucks right in front of the stage. It was outside, and it was like, well, you guys are going to have a conversation with your parents if you hear what I'm about to say.
And unless they're deaf, they're going to hear what you have to say.
Oh, yeah. They're right in front of the speaker.
What does 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink mean?
All right, let's move it on.
Okay. How I actually found you was you did comedy in Mandan, and then I started following you. You actually have some pretty viral moments that I want to get the backstory on a little more. The most recent one is you wearing a skirt on stage. And I have to know, you told a little bit about buying it, but I want like the full story of how you go about buying a skirt.
Okay, so this was 2 week and a half ago at this point. Yeah. So I work at Acme downtown Minneapolis as like a host, and all summer I've just been wearing shorts on stage. Everywhere I go, I just wear shorts on stage. It's comfortable. I got to do a lot of driving. And so I was like, well, I'm not going to change that. And I showed up to Acme, and I'd been doing it all summer. And Lewis, the owner of the club, on Thursday night, he was in, and I came into the office in shorts. And he's like, is that what you're wearing on stage? And I was like, yeah, man. I was like, it's fucking hot. And he's like, that's some old school people, that's unprofessional. And he gave me like the spiel about wearing shorts on stage, how some people have problems with it, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, yep. And then the next day I came in a little bit later because I was like, maybe I'll miss him. And I had shorts on. And you walk into Acme, and through the entrance, there's like a big open like atrium. And the first person I see right across the atrium is Lewis. And he just throws his hands up and he's like, what the fuck, man? And I'm like, damn it. So I go over and I start talking to him. And he's like, you wearing shorts again? I was like, yeah, dude. I'm like, it's fucking hot. I don't have AC in my car. I'm not putting pants on. And he's like, look, it's unprofessional. He's like, I won't tell you that you can't wear something on stage, but you never know who's in the audience. And an old school booker or manager might see it and be like, well, I'm never working with this guy because he doesn't take it seriously. He's like, if you want to be professional, you got to wear jeans, slacks. You could wear a dress. You can wear a skirt. And I was like, oh, I can wear a skirt? And he like looked at me and he's like, yeah, you can wear a skirt. And I was like, all right, sick. I'll see you tomorrow. So I went to fucking Goodwill the next day and was shopping for skirts. And dude, I don't know, the sizes in women's, they're not what they are in men's. I've been the same size since I was in high school for a men's. So I was standing in the skirt aisle, like holding dresses and skirts up to myself. And I ended up putting on a leather one. And I was like, that's clearly too tight. And I found that floral one, and I went up to the counter to check out. And as I was ringing up, there's an old woman ringing me up, and I was like, you think this will fit me? And she like looked up and she was like, "You?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Yeah, I think that should fit." And I was like, "Perfect." So I went out in the parking lot. And when I'm in Minneapolis, I live in my hometown, but when I work in the road and shit, if I don't have like somewhere to stay, I'll just fucking crash in my car or something. So
I
I just
love
went
that.
out to the went out to the parking lot, dropped trow, and threw on the skirt, and then went into Acme. And he saw me, and he was like, "Oh, you're wearing a fucking skirt." He like leaned up against the railing and sighed, and he was like, "All right, go ahead." Like, I'm never gonna tell anyone they can't wear something on stage. And I was like, "All right, man, cool." And he's like, "You can be." He's like, we'll make you Acme's first gender fluid comedian." And I was like, "Perfect, dude." He's like, "Just shave the mustache." And I was like, "It's already half gone, dude." So
Dude,
then I wore the
that's
stage.
unreal.
Yeah, wore the skirt on stage, and it went over way better than I thought it would. Honestly,
Did
I
you
didn't.
start with like, are you probably wondering why I'm wearing a skirt, or did you like go through like a whole routine and then like at the end of it, you'd be like, I'm wearing a skirt?
I did like the intro announcements, and then I did a couple of like, "How are you guys with the heat?" sort of a thing. Like, I didn't address it for probably 3-4 minutes, 5 minutes into
Perfect.
my set. And then that's why in the beginning of the clip I was kind of like, I'll address it because this seems like a loaded gun. Because no one was going to say anything, but you could tell on some of their eyes, they're like, "Why the fuck is this guy in a skirt?"
It's not that I'm not paying attention to you, but I wanted to look up your show. Is it at 1603 Main Events?
That's it. Main events, yeah.
They don't
Yes,
even
sir.
have your name in the description. Do we need
Probably
to talk
not.
to them about that?
Oh, they're
I'm just a feature, so
Are you working with the top national talent booking agency to bring the best performance America has to offer?
that's it. That sounds like AIDS man.
Yeah, it sounds
that's I guess if that's what they want to call it.
How ironic would it be if you got full blown AIDS?
I'm coming to your show.
If I got, dude, so everybody's like, "Why do you go by AIDS man?" And I was like, "Well, because there's no nickname for Aiden, and everybody back home has a nickname."
Aid.
And I remember I came in, I was like a kid, and they were having deer camp at my uncle's shed. And me and some other kids came in, and there's this, my dad's buddy, Steve-O. He was like, "Brendo, Con," and he saw me and he's like, "AIDS." Man, he's like, that's probably not a good nickname for you. But then it stuck from everybody was calling me AIDS and AIDS man. I kind of forget about the disease. My buddies call me AIDS across. They'll shout AIDS across the bar, and everybody's looking around, and I'm like, "Oh, they're talking to me."
It's just me.
Yeah.
Everyone kind of parts the sea. Like, he's got AIDS.
I've had people DM me and be like, "Do you really have AIDS?" And I'm like, "Do I look like I have fucking AIDS?"
Don't answer.
I
that.
mean, maybe.
I
don't know.
This frail, sickly figure I carry around. They're like, "This guy doesn't have long. He's got the AIDS."
It's like when Matt and I are in the studio and one of us just does something really stupid and we're like, "Am I retarded?" And then we look at the other person and we're like, "Don't answer that.
Yeah, yeah, dude.
Please don't answer that."
I think it's the first time I've said, "Do I look like I have AIDS?" Because I never want. I don't want to know.
Kinda.
It's all right.
I don't know what AIDS looks like, but I might have AIDS.
I mean, dude, the only experience I have like ever. Did you guys have like, I don't know how big your school was, but did you guys have like I'm assuming the sex talk with your health teacher?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Actually, our health teacher was like a really creepy old dude. So yeah.
What was his name? Was he the gym teacher too?
His name was Mr. G.
Oh yeah, watching you change and shit.
Yeah, no, I don't want to talk about that right now.
We'll go off the air. We'll talk about getting molested.
What about doing mushrooms on stage? You seem to be a mushroom connoisseur, and I respect that. I just nibbled on a few the other day myself.
Ooh, nice, man. Yeah, I mean,
sobriety will do it to a guy.
Honestly, yeah, I had always been interested in fucking consciousness and being and that sort of a thing since high school. And then I quit drinking, and I'd fucked with them before, but I was like, oh, this is nice. I can be, if I take a little bit, I could be in a room full of people. And New Year's was the first time I actually had taken them on stage. I got to Acme, and I just had a bag, and I was like, I want these gone. And New Year's, Acme does like a big after party and everything for the comics and the staff and stuff. So I showed up, and I was just going around secretly, and I was just giving some to everybody there. And no one had communicated with each other. They were never like, did Aiden give you mushrooms too? So like by the start of the second show, they're all tripping and they don't know who's on them and who's not. But I'd gotten everybody. I watched them all go down, and I was the only one who knew. And then I did my set, and it's kind of fun doing it on mushroom because it's just like, it's almost not real. You're just playing around and you feel more connected with everybody. I've taken too many at a time before, and then it's like, all right, I might have to sit down on stage, but it's
crisscross applesauce.
Yeah,
with your skirt.
Oh yeah, let him
just
hang.
hanging dong.
Yeah, fucking hang a little brain, dude. It's all right. Hit him with the old, oh, I think I stepped in gum trick.
We actually just talked about that last night, or the last episode.
Yeah.
Flashing ball.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the flashing ball game.
It's so fun. I still do it to my buddies.
Gets a little dangerous now.
With
when you do it in public.
I mean, I got these shorts on. I'll be like, dude, I fucking think I sat in gum. And they're like, what? And I pull it out of the bottom of my shorts.
Long ball AIDS, man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's all I have for you. So we'll get you going here. But
everybody should check out his show, since apparently I know all the details on it. If you're in the Bismarck-Mandan area on Friday, September 8th, looking for something to do, go to 1603 Main Events. The doors open at 7. Show starts at 8. Your $25 ticket will get you a free drink and what is sure to be a gut-busting show, according to the description here.
Oofy.
Comedians for the evening will be announced, apparently fucking 4 days ahead of time.
Okay, good. That's how I like to show up. No one knows who I am, and they're pissed when I get there because I look like their fucking drug-using nephew. They're like, they're going to ask grandma for money. I don't want this fucker here right now.
Well, it's just interesting because Matt and I, we produce our own shows for the most part. We've done a few other ones, but it's always like we see other comedy shows in the area, which, we want to get on board with, but it's like, who are your comedians? Tell the people who the comedians are so they can like follow them or check them out or like get an idea of, oh, should I bring my child to this? No, probably not is the answer. The dude's going to be on stage tripping on mushrooms with his balls hanging out of his skirt. Okay.
No, I like it that way. So anonymity. I never want to grow. This is the level I want to stay at forever, dude.
Do you just drive to town and then do you leave after the show, or are you gonna hang out for a minute?
They got us a hotel actually, so I'll be hanging around for the night.
Dude, let's party on Friday.
Yes, absolutely. Let's hit a blackjack table, dude. Teach me your secrets. Throw me 250 bones in the hole.
Wow, this worked out really well.
If you want to borrow money, I'm the guy to ask.
I feel
I never say no is the thing. I'm not rich. I just like, here you go.
So if I'm like, Matt, let's hit another table.
Yeah, hit the ATM for you, and then I'll be back.
Where can our listeners check out your material, see what you're all about?
Everything is under at AIDSman109. Surprisingly, that username was not taken. So AIDSman109 on everything. You can check out my YouTube. I have a shitty podcast that we don't update, and the audio is always fucked up on it. So
sounds like a low grade comic to me.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, just stay tight after we get off here. But we got Aiden McClusky, comedian. He will be in the Bismarck-Mandan area this week, so be sure to check him out. And thank you so much for coming on No Brains, No Headache podcast, man.
Thanks for having me, boys.
Matt, we're back here in the No Brains, No Headache studio, coming off a stellar interview. What did you think of that one? That actually lined up pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, we accidentally just promoted his show for him, so, promoters.
Fellow comedian as well. So I hope everybody enjoyed that. Welcome to the second portion of the show. It's been a while since we've done a remote interview, a virtual interview. Last time we had Dave in studio, so that was a little bit different. Just kind of went through it, blasted right through it, flew right under the radar. But now we got Cleary's comments. Now that's a segment where we banter about random things. But we got a few updates to give you as well. Matt, we're coming off the 1-year anniversary of the Weichel Cabin eviction party. What do you remember of the eviction party days?
We were just talking about it. I just remembered something new that I don't think I'm going to mention for some reasons, but it was a time. And I saw that people were out of the old brush lake having themselves some beverages, and I just went back to it. That back scratcher was one of the greatest things I added to the studio.
Chicks have dildos, dudes have back scratchers.
Pretty sure that's for a dog too.
Is it?
And it has a dog paw on it.
It's the bear claw. I don't know. Why would it be for a dog? I don't see the reason why it would do that. This is for your back, for the hard to reach places.
I thought it was for fat people that have dogs that can't bend over.
Could be, I guess. It's whatever you make it. The eviction party, the Weichel Cabin is being rebuilt. So last summer, Labor Day, about a year ago to the day, we're here in early September 2023. A year ago in 2022, I took Matt up to the cabin. So I said, hey, this is the last hurrah with this cabin before construction begins. And we got after the drinks pretty well. I was explaining to some family members the other day that when you and I were there, we got hammered drunk, and then we ran into the wall, on purpose.
My shoulder's still not right from that.
Yeah, we just decided to take a running start and broke through one of the walls because it was the last night of the cabin before it got demolished. And then, of course, we've told this story several times, but I'll tell it again. We went up to the local bar on the lake, got after the cocktails, and then we left said bar. And Matt really hasn't been up there a whole lot. I've obviously been up there for 10 plus years. I know my way around. And I started walking the wrong direction. And Matt was like, hey, isn't your cabin this way? And I'm like, oh, yeah. Start walking back. We're on a gravel road. It is dark out, pitch black. And Matt and I essentially were like a house of cards, like the beginning, the first 2 cards. We were just holding each other up while walking because we both got a severe case of the cooked spaghetti noodle legs.
I was leaning left, you were leaning right, and we were just kind of staying the course. But then it started one person would push too much, and then we'd autocorrect.
Yeah,
we'd go over, and we just... I wish you could see from a visual of okay, here's the direct line to the cabin. Here's the line that Jordan and Matt took. Just ding, ding, ding.
Just looks
ding.
like a set of shark teeth out there all over the place,
That's what
back
it was.
and forth. But yeah, the eviction party anniversary, I thought of it. I was like, we definitely have to talk about that. It was a great time. If you really want to go back, check out our Instagram at NBNH Podcast. Check out some clips from there. But dude, the new Weichel Cabin... It's going to be a fortress. It is a palace. It towers over all of the neighbors, and that was by accident. I was like, holy shit, this thing is fucking huge. So we're going to have to break that puppy in with a huge party whenever it comes to completion. But happy Labor Day weekend to all of those coming off of it, really getting into the fall time of the year. Football's back, so we got a lot of things planned for that. But also September is Suicide Prevention Month. I know Matt and I, we like to joke around a lot on this podcast. We like to get after the drinks. I'm obviously on my sober break. We'll get into that a little bit. But I have a platform here, so I want to use it. September, Suicide Prevention Month. Please make sure you're checking in not only on yourself, but checking on your friends and family. Make sure they're doing all right, if they're acting a little different. And really don't be afraid to ask them the hard questions because not a lot of people are just going to keel over and just tell you exactly what's going on in their lives, all right? You really got to dig deep for it. So, yeah, make sure you're taking care of not only yourself but your friends as well. If you're not here with us, that would be a sad thing, and you can't listen to No Brains, No Headache every week. If Matt and I aren't here anymore because we were sad and something just went wrong and had irrational decisions going through our head, that wouldn't be any good. So I just want to use the platform to say that. And yes, make sure you're checking on everybody, all of your loved ones, because we like to party, we like to have a good time, and we want you here with us to do so. So with that, let's get into Cleary's comments. Matt, you got it started. We got some business claims.
You know how like every business has like best burger ever or like best in this, and I saw one in Bismarck. I'm not going to mention any names, but
We rarely do.
it said only restaurant to dry age steaks in the upper Midwest. So I was like, okay, that's cool. I don't really know what the upper Midwest means, but okay, let me see if any other. Let's just check North Dakota. I was fact checking a restaurant because I don't have enough to do.
Glad you brought that up. I also did that recently.
And I saw that there was like 5 restaurants in Fargo that do the exact same thing. And so that leads me to believe that this person has never Googled anything.
Yes.
They just like to lie, or they have no idea what the upper Midwest is. That Bismarck is part of it, but Fargo is not.
The upper Midwest in western North Dakota.
The upper Midwest is just the Bismarck Mandan area.
Apparently, according to some people.
Actually, I think there's a restaurant in Mandan that does this too. So like maybe it's just Bismarck.
Did it upset you?
Kind of.
Well, as you may know, I work at a distillery, and there's also a tiki bar there. And I also run all their marketing, their social media. And so I had a post recently that said, come check out the only tiki bar in all of North Dakota. Then we had some jackasses comment on it. One lady said, this looks cool, but this is for sure not the only tiki bar in North Dakota. So as from that account, I said, please enlighten us. Like, I would really like to know where the other one is. Lady didn't even respond, has yet to respond. Then we had another jackass who sent a screenshot of just the aerial view of like Google Maps. And it's a tiki shack in Lakota, North Dakota. They don't even know how to name their fucking town. It's Lakota, North Dakota, which is the most North Dakota fucking thing I've ever heard. Let's see what the population is in Lakota. Oh, 689 as of 2020.
That's on the reservation, isn't it?
I don't really care. I checked out, I Googled it. It comes up as Rusty's Bar and Saloon, and it says permanently closed across the top. I'm like, oh, these guys have a great web presence. Glad I could facilitate them in being fellow tiki bars. It's an embarrassment to tiki bars. Also, rest in peace, Jimmy Buffett. Huge loss for the tiki bar community. That guy lived a big life. I'm sure everybody's heard about it, so I'm not going to bore you with that. But R.I.P. Jimmy, enjoy paradise from your boys at No Brains, No Headache. But this is just embarrassing for all the tiki bars across all of the land. So I go check out their Facebook, right, Matt? They pretty much have like a logo that they definitely had a virtual assistant from Asia make, similar to our very first NBNH podcast logo. That looks exactly like the Pornhub logo. Anyway, and I'm like scrolling through one of their most recent posts. Their second most recent post was promoting a rummage sale in the back room of the Tiki Shack. Then a few months prior, they thanked somebody for having their steak fry there after the fact, after it was over. Then they didn't have a post in 3 years. In 3 years. And I'm like, how is this? So there's not even a single picture of the interior of this quote unquote tiki bar. And I'm supposed to be over here as the social media manager for an actual tiki bar that actually has tropical music and decorations, and it's got palm fronds, and it's got cool fucking lights, and it's got rum that we make in the back. It is a full-on tiki bar, full service, year-round, not on a reservation, in a town with a population over 1,000. Apparently is what I have to say on social media. Man, you really struck a nerve.
Well, I mean,
I am upset.
Apparently that's a trendsetter for it's a spark for me.
But it just upset me because,
well, even if, let's say that is a tiki bar that's operating in Lakota, your statement is not wrong because that is on a sovereign nation and not part of North Dakota.
thank you, Matt. Also another one in the lovely city of Minot, North Dakota. Never go there if you can help it. Sorry if you live there now. And they have a tiki bar. It's essentially a patio for a bar. So in the summertime, it opens up, and they call it a tiki bar. And it just upsets me because when I make the claim that of something for an establishment I work for, I mean it, and I actually Google this shit ahead of time. Unlike the fucking, what is it, dry aged steaks? What the hell's a dry aged steak?
It's when you like season it and then you put it in a cooler and it like sits there for 30 days.
You can't just do that on your own?
Apparently restaurants do it.
Anyway, yeah, these businesses need to stop claiming that they know what the hell they're talking about, because they don't.
Yeah, I dry aged my steaks. You mean the steaks that are just covered in mold in your refrigerator? Huh.
Pretty much. Get me all worked up, make me want to almost have a drink.
Yeah, how's sobriety going for you?
It's going. It's going.
You know it's going.
So we're on day 8 of Jordan Weichel's sobriety here. I decided I'm going to take a little bit of a break from the drinks. I'm sure there's people out there who are like, yeah, he definitely got a DUI. I did not. I did not get a driving under the influence charge. But yeah, day 8. Like I said last week, my stipulations are, and like I mentioned a moment ago, I work at a distillery, and you were giving me shit because I'm like, I can do samples, and you're like, oh, that's just a loophole. It's part of my job, and I was hoping that you're going to argue me on that, because my argument would be if you were like, hey, you know what, I just need a break from the internet. I'm tired of it all. And then you get to work on Monday, and they're like, hey, did you get my email? And you're like, well, no, I took a break from the internet. I can't do my job. Are you kidding me?
If I were religious, here's a loophole that I'm thinking of. I give up the internet for lunch, and they can't fire me because it's a religious reason.
That's fair. That is fair.
But then once that's over, then I would immediately get fired.
Whatever kind of update you want, or loophole you want. But I do have an update here because I said if I do samples, I am going to keep track of them. So last Monday, I had 3 samples. Wednesday, I had 4 samples. Thursday is where it gets a little touchy because just so happens that when I decided this whole sobriety thing, we were also having a bartender competition that I'm most definitely, it's my job to judge them. Like, and some of those bartenders didn't know if they're supposed to give me samples or not. I'm like, yes, if there's one person in this whole bar you want to sample your drink, it's me. I'm pretty much the one making the decision here. I mean, we voted on it, but I wanted to have my fair vote. So on Thursday, I had 11 samples.
Otherwise known as a drink.
8 drinks.
Yeah.
No, I had a witness next to me. She actually listened to the podcast every once in a while. So, Amy, if you're listening, thank you for being my witness. Her and her husband, Scott, were sitting next to me. And I showed her, I said, I am taking the smallest sips possible. Sometimes I took 2 just to get the full flavor in. But you can ask them. I had plenty of my drink left over afterwards. And then other samples just include if I have to sample a flavored rum and or moonshine to make sure it is up to our standards. You can hold up. But Friday I did 4, so total for the week, and I also had tastings with bars, and like some bars really respect it if you like taste your own product just to show them that like I take pride in my shit. So 22 samples last week. I'd say you divide that by 5. If we're really counting it to be like 1/5, and honestly it's less. Like it is the teeniest sip ever. So really, I guess if you really want to hash me out, I did end up having 4 ounces of alcohol last week in my first week of sobriety. But today is Monday. I had nothing on Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So I'm actually a few days without even a drop of alcohol in the system. Matt, I got to tell you, actually, what did you have to say?
Well, yeah, I was going to say it shows because you went up to me. And I was like, yeah, Jordan, you're like, I was like, earlier, I was like, how's sobriety? And you're like, it sucks. And I was like, you're only 6 days in. And you're like, it's 8 days.
It is 8 days. Yeah, dude, sobriety, I'm just going to be honest with you and our listeners, we got to be transparent about our mental health, okay? Saturday morning, I still woke up very depressed as if I was out all night drinking.
Pavlov's dogs.
It must be. And I was like, why am I feeling like this? And part of me was like, okay, if I'm still going to feel like this, I'm actually going to drink and actually enjoy it. But not sure why I felt like that. But it is weird. I thought I would have more energy. I thought my mood would be like a bit different. And turns out I'm just the same old Jordan as before, minus the drinks. The only thing that's really liking this is the wallet and perhaps the liver. But I'm just not seeing it. I'm not getting the hype of being sober. I'm still going to stick to it because I said that's what I'm going to do, but I'm really not seeing the hype. And it was interesting. On the Friday evening, I was home by like 9. I worked until like 9 p.m. and I was home at like 9:30. Had no ambition to go out whatsoever because I was dog fucking tired.
Just twiddling your thumbs, sitting in your chair, wake up the next morning on your chair.
Well, and I think what's happening is another thing people have told me when they have done breaks from the drinks, a little bit of sobriety there. They're like, oh, yeah, I lost 16 pounds. I lost 10 pounds or whatever. I think I'm replacing the drinks with food because I have been so hungry all week long. And it's like, okay, is this just because I'm usually like, got a little bit of a hangover? Maybe the alcohol upsets the tum-tum a little bit. I don't know what the deal is because on Saturday I coped with not drinking by eating a half of a pizza to myself.
I can eat 2 Domino's medium pizzas to myself.
Well, I had to cut myself off. And there was no pizza left, but I was just like...
Yeah, you put those pizzas in front of me and I'm hungry.
It's like, yeah, I had 4 drinks last night. It's like, I had 4 slices of pizza.
I mean, life has its way of balancing things out.
I don't know. Sobriety, guys, I'm just saying, might be a myth. If you want to try it yourself, do it. But also don't lie to yourself. I know a lot of people who are like, oh, I'm going to go sober too, but I also have 2 bachelor parties, a wedding, and 14 NFL fantasy football drafts. It's like, okay, you are definitely going to drink for all of those.
Dude, last Wednesday I had a fantasy football draft, and I accidentally got shit-faced, and I ended up taking 4 quarterbacks.
Well, yeah, you got what? Are they any good?
No, it's like I don't need. One of them was Russell Wilson, who I already dropped, and the other one was I think Colt McCoy I took in the last round, who got cut 2 days before.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was not a good night for Matt. This week on the internet, and I needed to fact check this with you because this happened at a Morgan Wallen concert.
Okay.
Were there any fights at the Morgan Wallen concert
at WeFest?
Or the other one you went to?
Not that I can remember, but my first Morgan Wallen concert, I had a pit pass, so I was right up on right front row, and then there was the pit had so much excess room behind us, so there was really no reason for anybody to get in a tussle. And then they also had just it's so weird. They had seats on the floor as if we're at a fucking graduation, and you were just apparently just supposed to stay at your seat. I didn't see any Morgan Wallen fights. I didn't even see... Okay, I saw one fight at WeFest, which I think is a story I forgot to tell. We were at a campground party, and it was just just like a corral of ice houses and campers, and they kind of made their little campground. And then people go all out, so they had a huge table and this huge speakers. Next thing you know, a little bit of a tussle breaks out, and then it turns out it's one of the guys who is staying in one of those places and has the speaker. So after the little skirmish gets broken up, he's like, "Fuck you guys!" Turns off the music, and you just see him take his speaker off the speaker stand and head it into his camper.
I mean, that's a power move if I've ever seen one.
And I think that actually was Morgan Wallen night. So not at the concert,
but yes, you have
indirectly.
This was an outdoor concert. There was a line of porta potties, and these 2 girls outside of the porta potties started shoving each other, and then kind of trying to tackle it. And then simultaneously as this is happening, some girl gets out of the porta potty.
Yeah, she opens the door and is standing there please let me through.
and somehow the fight goes into the porta potty. And I was like, this is the greatest fight I've ever seen.
Well, did you also notice that the girl in the porta potty, she got out, who wasn't involved in the fight? Then out of left field comes a random chick just throwing haymakers.
Yeah,
Did you notice that?
Yeah, I thought I didn't know right away if she was trying to separate them, but now that I think about it, she was definitely just feeding the other girl punches. But like, if the fight bleeds into a porta potty, maybe stop the fight.
Yeah,
or stop the fight and then reassess.
Yeah, where's the ref at? Just
Yeah.
like, hey guys, let's kind of bring it back to center here.
Yeah, like you're like whisper to the other person, like, hey, do you mind if we get out of the porta potty and then keep going?
I don't know, maybe one of them was trying to fucking give him a porta potty swirly,
Or drop her
which I like to call a slumdog millionaire.
just drop her into the porta potty.
If you know, you know. Yeah, that was a pretty wild fight. I'm glad. That's so crazy. The internet works that way. It's just.
It involves my two favorite things: poop and fighting.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say hot chicks.
Oh yeah, we can get into
Country
that
music.
later. It's coming up, and I'm so excited.
Olympics of popping Instagram models.
Olympics of boners.
Want to do some Super Bowl picks?
Yep.
All right. So real quick, Matt and I, we like to wager on the podcast, and we currently have a wager going. Matt, if you could just pull up the MLB standings real quick, that would be great. So we did. I wish I would have dated this. We picked future World Series winners for $100. As you know, I'm really trying to win that one because I have an outstanding debt with Matt that I have yet to pay a cent. If anything, I've gone more in debt, just taking out daily loans from you. So Matt picked, let's see. Okay, he picked both LA teams and both New York teams. What are their current records?
New York Yankees are 68 and 69. Not great.
That's not good at all. The Angels are also in the AL.
They're 64 and 73. That one's not great either.
Nope. Okay, how about the Dodgers?
The Dodgers are my basically only chance. They are 84 and 52.
Are they atop their division?
Yes.
And then you got the Mets.
In the Mets. It's the Dodgers versus the world at this
What's
point.
the Mets record? Just out of curiosity.
63 and 74.
Okay. So Matt looks like maybe one team going to the playoffs.
I picked based on not the
Geographical location.
I
You
picked on
LA and New York.
the teams I wouldn't forget because I figured I would forget, but then
Why would you forget? I have it written down.
I know.
Okay. And then for me, my AL teams are the Houston Astros, which are record, please. When I point at you, you say the record.
They're really good. 78 and 61.
I also have the Tampa Bay Rays.
83 and 55. Those
Okay,
are those are the two atop the wild card race.
Okay, I think we did this right before the season started because the Rays started out like 10-0, and I was like, sweet, perfect. My NL teams, the Atlanta Braves.
Best team in baseball, 90 and 46.
San Diego Padres?
God, you suck. 65 and 73, and they might not make the playoffs. You're an idiot.
So, looks like I might have three options making the playoffs. Matt might have one. None of us picked the Cubs, who are actually in the playoff spot right now. I'm probably going to jinx
I'm
them.
going to be rock hard if they make the
Probably
playoffs.
going to jinx them. Knock on wood. So, that's our MLB update. If you'd like to tag along with us, keep track of who might win the $100 No Brains, No Headache podcast wager. And we're about to do another one. Now, I'm going to write it down, so don't choose your team so you don't forget. Just choose on who you think is good. So we'll do a Super Bowl winner. Are you going to... Oh. What are you doing? Is that the Buffalo Nickel?
Yeah. So who goes first?
Also for $100, we'll each take two. How does that sound?
Perfect.
One from each conference. Sound good?
Perfect. Or we could go 50 on this one, and we could bet 50 on mini helmet too.
No. 100 on this mini helmet it's for fun, Matt.
Okay, fine.
Okay, I need some Super Bowl odds really quick. Why don't you flip you want me to do it?
Yeah.
We'll switch it up. So every time Matt does it, I call Buffalo and I win, and then I pick first.
Buffalo.
It is Buffalo, so Matt gets the first pick. here for our NBNH Super Bowl wager?
I'm just gonna go right off the bat, and I think I'm gonna go with the Eagles because I don't think anyone in the NFC is gonna be close to them, and I know I can have either the Chiefs or the Bills in the next round.
Final pick?
Yep.
It's actually pretty smart. I saw something earlier that with Tom Brady retiring and Rodgers to the Jets, somebody was like, Kirk Cousins is the best quarterback in the NFC. And I'm like, well, maybe not Jalen Hurts, but I don't know what they were smoking, but it's like, holy shit, the NFC sucks for quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So you're right. I know you just did that pick, but it'd probably be in my best interest to take the Chiefs, so I'm going to, especially with that quarterback show that did follow. Funny you mentioned it, Kirk Cousins, Patrick Mahomes, Marcus Mariota. Have a whole new respect for the Chiefs. And also Patrick Mahomes, despite his wife being perhaps the most obnoxious human on planet Earth.
Married his slump buster.
Oh, ugh. All right, so I got the Chiefs. You got the Eagles. Your AFC pick is up next.
Yeah, give me the Bills.
Dude, the NFC sucks.
Yeah, I think it's isn't like the 49ers, the Panthers.
Okay, the best odds according to FanDuel Sportsbook, what I'm using right now, Eagles plus 800, Niners plus 1,000, Cowboys plus 1,300, the Lions plus 2,100, and then the next closest is the Vikings plus 3,500. I'm gonna learn our lesson from our MLB wager here, and I know this is asinine, but I'm gonna take the homer pick. I'm gonna go with the Vikings. Why not? People are laughing right now, and that's okay. What are my choices? The 49ers or the Cowboys? I hate both of them.
Actually, I did.
Brock Purdy will not take them to the promised land.
So every year they come out with the Super Bowl logo already, and every year it's some sort of color of the teams that are in it. So this year's prediction was the Vikings versus the Bills based on the colors.
Which was my last year's prediction.
Yeah.
All right. We got it. Matt's got the Eagles and Bills. I got the Chiefs and Vikings. Good luck. Best of luck to both of us here. I'm sure neither of us will win. The Bengals will probably win.
All right, tuck your boner up into the wastelands. We got the Olympics of Instagram models.
Perfect. I love this. I'm glad we're doing this. The Olympics of Instagram models. Now, the Olympics is the ranking game we occasionally play here on No Brains, No Headache podcast. What we do is we pick a topic, such as Instagram models. Then Matt and I, we go through, we rank them. Gold, silver, bronze. Lost in the medal round, as always. Disqualifieds and honorable mentions are fair game. This is also open for interpretation. So this could be an interesting one on what you interpret as an Instagram model. Rules also state that Matt and I cannot have the same picks. Matt, who wants to flip the Buffalo nickel?
I got it, so I'll flip it.
All right, Matt's got the Buffalo nickel. That's how we decide who goes first. I'm going not Buffalo.
It is not Buffalo.
Nice. Beautiful. All right, people. Pull out your Instagram Explorer page and get ready to type in some names because, boy, do we have some smoke shows for you. I asked Matt earlier how this went, and he went to Spank Bank City for this. The Spank Bank has officially been filled. I wonder if I still have that. I don't know if I do. I don't know.
Maybe throw a little rouge on ya. Tuck your sack back. You game? No.
All right, so my gold medal pick, and this is probably just dependent on people's personal preference and algorithms. You ready for it, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have for my Instagram model gold pick. I am going with my girl, my favorite. She is lovely. It is Skylar Simpson. You can follow her on Instagram by typing in Skylar Simpson with 2 N's. She has 966,000 Instagram followers, which is, for me, I think that's a little low. I mean, are people blind? She is 24 years of age. I actually found out today that she has a man, and kind of upset me a little bit.
Yeah, she also has a dump truck on her.
Yeah, well, I'm still keeping her at gold, and like we talked about earlier, she is part of the Fun Bay Club. So, couple of cannons.
Yep.
Absolutely beautiful. She's got a radiant smile. She's done all sorts of modeling gigs. Hit the runway. Check out her Instagram. We're just pumping up their Instagrams for them.
Yeah.
Skylar Simpson, showing.
I will go with my gold medal, and this is the only one that I actually follow, and that's going to be Paige Sporanic. I like her for two reasons.
Spank Bank has officially been
Her
filled.
smile and her personality and her huge boobs.
She is definitely part of the Fun Bag Club.
Yeah, absolute. And she's so good at golf, which is just hot.
You motorboating son of a bitch, you old sailor, you.
Paige Sporanic, any idea how many followers, any stats?
I think she has like 2.3 million or something.
Matt's stats are, she's hot. She's got huge boobs.
3.9 million.
Wow, she may be the most, no, just kidding, I might have a more popular one. I might do a strategy pick here, because I feel like this is the only one you might have, and I want to take it. So for my silver pick in the Olympics of Instagram models, Spank Bank City, we are going with Veronica Rajek. 5.9 million followers on Instagram. Apparently was banging Tom Brady for a second. You told me that.
Yeah.
I didn't even find that out from an outside source. You were the source.
Yeah, she wasn't on my list. At one point, I think she was, because I just literally went to Instagram and went to my search bar and literally just like put like 40 names on the list, and I was like, okay, I got to whittle this down.
According to her Instagram bio, she has natural boobs, adding her to the Fun Bag Club, standing at 5 feet 11 inches. She also has her Master's of Business Administration, so she's smart too. My silver pick, Veronica. How do we say this? Is it Rajik? I don't know. I don't know how to say half these names. Veronica R. Matt, silver.
I'm gonna go with Karina Koff.
Ooh, solid pick.
She's kind of like a
Just like my pants right now.
yeah.
Tight.
The only reason I'm picking her in this spot is because she played golf with Paige Sporanic today. So
it was a double spank.
yeah,
day.
if I played golf with both,
It was double punch day, if you know what I mean.
if I played golf with both of those, I'd need to change my pants after every hole.
Matt, did you want to tee up? No, I'm good. You haven't left the golf cart in 4 holes. I'm fine.
Yeah, basically. Holy shit, she is good looking.
Love it. We're through the 2 first rounds of the Olympics of Instagram models. I mean, do you think we're being judged right now for what we're doing?
Dude, I wrote someone on my list and I literally can't find their Instagram right now.
It's open for interpretation, Matt. You do whatever you want. All right, I'm going to move on to the bronze medal, and this is a bronze goddess. Kiki Passo.
No idea.
Check her out. A Brazilian model who has 1.6 million Instagram followers. She resides in Miami, Florida. Maybe you do know who this is, Matt. She dated Tate Martell.
Oh, yep.
For a hot second. Also, you know, a bit of. It seems as if she has a fake nose. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, but she is part of the Fun Bag Club, so that is why she is my bronze medal selection for the Olympics of Instagram models.
My next one, I'm gonna go with. Her name is Jessica Bartlett.
Nice. I know who that is.
I need some variety because I have 2 blondes on the list, and I think that
all of my picks they all pretty much look alike.
Yeah, she went to UC Berkeley, so she's pretty stupid.
Also in Miami/LA.
Weird.
Playboy/Verge.
Which is about 99% of them. Yeah, and all of her pictures are pretty much the same. It's just a close-up of her.
With the Fun Bag Club.
Yep.
All right. So far we have a clean sweep. Everybody is part of the Fun Bag Club, which I really enjoy. Moving on to the Lost in the Medal round, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with an Instagram model by the name of Ryan Murphy. That's Ryann, 2 N's. Matt, earlier you said that you were watching Vampire Diaries. Do you know who I'm talking about? Because she is in Vampire Diaries.
I've only watched one season. Is she?
Well, Ryan Murphy is an actress standing at 5 feet 9 inches, 785,000 Instagram followers. She was actually raised in Japan. Surprise, surprise here. Also part of the Fun Bag Club. She is currently attending in UCLA, and she has appeared in Battle of the Fittest Couples, Vampire Diaries, Lucifer, Timeless, and Body of Proof. Also was the Maxim New Zealand cover girl.
She's got documentation. Holy shit.
Yeah, she does. I put more effort into the description of my picks for this than probably any Olympics so far, but Ryan Murphy is my lost in the middle round pick. I mean, I don't know what you want me to do besides try my best.
I mean, okay, my lost in the middle round pick, this one, she was a former volleyball player at Marshall. Her name's Kayla Simmons. And I'm assuming she had to quit volleyball after getting hit in the face by her boobs for jumping up and down. She has 1 million followers, and she's just like, I would let her beat the shit out of me.
With her boobs?
A fucking club, I don't care.
Knock you out for a week. So, part of the Fun Bake Club then.
Yep.
Fantastic.
You just do another one that aren't in the Fun Bag Club.
That would be difficult.
Yep.
I don't know how we do that. My honorable mentions is a lovely lady by the name of Alexis Clark. Like, some of these names are just so, like, Ryan Murphy, Alexis Clark. I don't know. Look her up. She's hot. That's all I really have to say about her. And then, I have a soft spot for MILFs. Okay, I'm a softie for the MILFs, so I had to give one. I mean, these other chicks might be MILFs for all I know. I know they're all like 24. Definitely not paying for anything. Megan Teef. She's like a personal trainer, and I don't know. She's just so positive. She's really hot too. Has 2 kids and like a boyfriend, but definitely parties a lot. Very nice smile, MILF.
The only other honorable mention I had was
Matt, you had several honorable mentions.
Livy Dunn.
Okay.
She's dating Paul Skeens. Okay. And she had been higher on my list, but Paul Skeens got promoted to AAA and gave up 200 runs in the first inning. So, and the only other one I had was Grace Karras, the golf girl.
Yes.
She's kind of like the Trailer Park Paige Sporanic.
For sure. Definitely. I don't know how I know this, but you probably find her nudes online. Don't ask how I know. Okay. Well, the thing about my list is they're all respectable young adults who don't have an OnlyFans. Trust me, I've looked. That's how you know you are a good model, is when you're like, I don't have to have an OnlyFans. But if they did, do you think they ever think about that when it's like, I have 1 million followers, I'm a hot chick?
Yeah, I could break the internet and have an OnlyFans. I'm sure they do think about it.
Or at least an OnlyFans that sports the nudes. Because I think maybe they might have an OnlyFans, but it's just like, okay, I cross-promote. I posted this to Visco, Instagram, Twitter, and OnlyFans. It's like, okay, yeah, you just follow the normal social media platforms. I don't know. I'm just saying. Think about it. Hopefully everybody's tense aren't too intense right now. We'll play on words there. But the Spank Bank has officially been filled. You all are welcome. Matt, let's get into the final portion of the show because I'm sick and tired of this. The fun part is over. The Fun Bag Club is no more. Let's get up another bag full of mini helmets. Why don't you, as the commissioner and creator, explain mini helmet fantasy football?
Mini helmet fantasy football. We bought all 32 teams of mini helmets. They are in a Doctor Who, Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss.
Who's Doctor Who? Hat, and we draw out of it. We pick a quarterback, a running back, and a tight end from whoever you draw, and then we add up the points, and whoever wins at the at the end of that week, we do something dumb.
It usually makes for a pretty good time. Rule state, we don't have the Monday Night Football teams because that's usually when we record. So Matt was a gentleman and already took out the Bills versus the Jets, which is the first week of Monday Night Football. So, do we need to flip the quarter again?
Yeah.
Is it the third or the Buffalo nickel? This is a third. This is a record. 3 Buffalo nickel flips in one episode. What are you calling?
Buffalo.
Damn it, it is Buffalo.
All right. Well, it doesn't really help going first, I guess, in this.
I mean it. Matt, quit looking into the bag. I don't trust you now. You give a little sound effect to our listeners out there. Doesn't it sound like a bag full of mini helmets? All right, Matt, I don't trust you. I'm trying to cheat week 1. I respect it, but I don't trust you.
I got the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, cool. They have the best player in all of fantasy football.
Yeah, give me Alexander. I'm just kidding. I'm going to take Justin Jefferson.
That was such a good joke, dude. How long have you been working on that?
I wrote it down beforehand, so about 40 minutes.
Okay, I'm going in here deep.
Dude, quit looking into the bag.
All right, San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, yeah.
Give me Christian McCaffrey, please. Thank you.
So we got the 1 and 2 best players. Usually it's like, I'll take Corey Davis. I don't know who the fuck's on their team.
I'll take Kyle Rudolph. Just retired.
I'll still take him. I got the Lions, and I'm going to go to their...
You should take Jaha Meyer-Gibbs.
Give me Jared Goff.
Interesting. Jared Goff.
What's between that or Jahamire Gibbs?
Okay, I got the Green Bay Packers here. And Matt, it only took us 3 years to find this handy-dandy depth chart sheet. Wait, I already have CMC. Fuck. Give me... I'm going to go with... Give me their tight end, this Luke Musgrave character. Is that correct? Is it Luke?
Yep, they drafted him in the first round out of Oregon State.
All right, Luke Musgrave, please rack up a shitload of targets from J-Love.
I got the Steelers.
Yikes.
I'm going to take
That is bad.
Najee Harris.
Oh, Najee going to work here anymore.
Yeah, I left the tight end for last, so that's going to be a real dick punch.
Okay, I got the San Diego Chargers. Give me Sherbert. Justin Herbert, please, quarterback.
All right. Tight end.
Chiefs. Want Jimmy Graham?
The Saints. He's on the Saints again. I don't know if he's their starter. I'm going to take Johnson. That sucks.
Oh, great.
The Browns. Dude, they got Amari Cooper.
The Cleveland Browns is my final pick. Yeah, unless I want Donovan Peoples-Jones. No, give me Amari Cooper.
The law firm.
Amari, like a Tarantino movie. All right, so go through the lineup. I have Justin Herbert, Christian McCaffrey, Amari Cooper, Luke Musgrave. Matt has
Jared Goff, Najee Harris, Justin Jefferson, and I think it's Jawan Johnson, but
Okay,
it could
yeah.
be Josh Johnson.
No, that's who it is.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I just had to write Saints next to it because I wrote, but that's our show this week. Check out Comedy Night tickets. Link is in our bio. September 29th at Dakota Stage. We will be announcing the other comedians coming up here shortly. That's going to be a good time. And follow us on social media at NBNH Podcast, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. You can check out the whole episode video version. That's fun.
Episode 169 up next.
This is a freestyle off the top of the dome. Here we go. And I do it again. I do it only once. Again. I do it only once. I go down that river slow to the place.